Hey guys, welcome back to TV Movie Mistress. I am here today to talk about Pit Babe Season 2, Episode 11. And we kick things right off with Willie again this week. And the show does something that it's hilarious that I didn't even think about it last week. And I was like, oh, guys, the ethics of just withdrawing blood from Willie. Because, yeah, the other option is to just convince Willie that we're all on the same team and Tony is evil. Like, yeah, convince him. Your enemy, the enemy of your friend is your friend. The enemy of your friend, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. That saying. But yes, again, Willie's still being held captive. I just continue. One, I hate that he's still sexually he's being sexually aggressive still with Babe. I hate that with everything. That's not what I meant to laugh to. What I meant to laugh to is the fact that his hands are still in these stockings, so he doesn't activate his time stopping abilities by snapping his fingers. It's kind of hilarious. I feel like once you see it, you cannot stop seeing it. So they are able to convince him to give them more information. And by convincing him, we find out that most likely, I mean, we already know Tony has powers, but we're also able to get that confirmation from Willie when he says, look, when I was being held there, folks were regularly taking his blood. That's definitely the connection. But I also wonder if Willie would like to take the skill dissolving serum in the future. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like time travel, not time travel, the ability to stop time even for 1 minute is a great addition. And if Tony's dead, I'd keep it. But that might just be me. Nah, fuck out of here. That's all of us. We're all keeping the time travel ability. What am I talking about? Chris and Pete continued their relationship this week. And this was probably the first week I came away feeling like I could trust in what Chris was saying, which is kind of hilarious because I was talking to a friend about this episode, and she said it was kind of flipped for her because this was the first episode she felt she couldn't trust Chris at all, especially with the reveal of, the reveal that he makes to the entire group that, hey, I'm actually Tony's son. Me and Wei are like test tube babies. I was never picked because I had no powers. Wei was brought back to Tony, and we also get a mention of like this friend who leaves him, which is just so weird. So it's like Tony created you as test tube babies, and I'm assuming gave you up for adoption. How did you know like Tony was your dad? Like, I mean, I guess maybe Tony did raise them until he just was like, you're not gonna have, I could tell you're not gonna be a kid with ability, so get rid of you. Like, I'm not quite sure how, again, because like Chris is a scientist. Not, yeah, Chris is a scientist. He's come a long way. Like, so it's just, his background seems very fascinating for the little glimpses we see of it. But yeah, he tells the crew, he's like, hey, I'm Tony's son. And Babe immediately is like, see ya, I told you we couldn't trust him. And I was like, I know, babe. You were right. You were right. And Babe, in my opinion, asks a very good question, which is, how can we trust you? Because I don't know either, Babe. But Chris's reasoning is, Tony didn't want me, so I am of no value to him. So that's why you should trust me. So if Tony did want you, would you betray them? I don't know. I hope they don't leave us on a cliffhanger for season 2. I hope we get a complete season and just, but like, again, we have 2 episodes left. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So that's Chris and Pete, and that's a little bit of Willie. The remaining bulk of this week's episode deals with the 2 couples. You've got Charlie and Babe, and you've also got Jeff and Alan. And oh my God, Alan, you are gonna stress me out for the next 2 episodes because this decision you have made cannot. I don't see how it ends well. This week, we also get so many cute scenes between Charlie and Babe that just kind of foreshadows that something bad is about to happen. And of course, we see it by the end of the episode with Charlie's amnesia, because of course it's either a fake death or an amnesia plot line or a pregnancy storyline, and Hit Babe is not doing pregnancy. You know who is doing the pregnancy storyline? ABO, Desire. They are. I'm seated. But yeah, so we get these really just quiet moments of intimacy between Charlie and Babe, and I was here for it. Also, just to mention, I have no idea what kind of core control or just control period Babe and Charlie have where they're able to go at it in this car, and the glass of red wine that's on top of the car just stays there. It doesn't slide off, doesn't fall off, just like it's at the edge. It's not even like on the center of the top of the car. It's literally right at the edge, but it stays. I don't know. Maybe this is a metaphor for something, like a metaphor that like they're on the edge, something precarious. The I don't know. I'm just spitballing here because why? I can't not think about it, because what does this mean? Do you guys think this means anything, or am I just like making equations where none exist? But outside of Babe and Charlie's sweet moment, we get a very sweet moment from Jeff and Alan as well. Now that Alan is so much healthier, we see him just take to the race course for the first time in a very long time. He starts out by taking the car out for a spin and ends the day proposing to Jeff, and it was very cute. All of their friends are there, and while all of this sweetness and happiness was going on, it just again kind of felt like another nail is being put on top of Alan's coffin, and I don't like that. Shocker. Like this moment especially was giving me, okay, take a picture, because who will not be here by the end? Who is going to fall out with the group? Who is going to maybe die, sacrifice themselves? Who knows? But it very much felt like end of graduation. We have no idea what the future will look like. Okay, what's next? Let's talk about the 360 that Alan's betrayal has now unleashed, because obviously Kim has common sense, and he realizes that like, hey, something's not copacetic here, and he goes and tells Pete, thankfully, because obviously this will most likely help combat the nonsense that Alan finds himself in by the end of this episode. And I also love the fact that Kim tells Pete, like, if you lost your mind, when are we gonna get Kenta back? Are you even trying? It's like it feels like you're just here in love, and Kenta loved you and sacrificed himself for us, for you, and you're just out here with your side thing, drinking wine, enjoying your evening. Like, that's terrible. And again, I'm so happy that Kim points this out, and that he pointed it out in front of the both of them, because what are y'all doing? Like, yo, Kenta might be dead or suffering, and no one is coming up with a plan to rescue him. But thankfully, because of Kim sharing this information, now Pete knows, hey, we got to do something about Kenta. And also, hey, Alan, yeah, something's going on there that you should look into. I also, outside of that, we actually have a race this episode, and ex-Hunter sweeps. You've got Babe in first place, Charlie in second, and North in third. I feel bad for all the other racers, because it's like, what even is this team? But they win. But what's shocking outside of this race is the fact that immediately after, we see the effects of memory loss on Charlie. Like, my guy was suiting up to go like start the race, and Babe had to be like, we won, we're done. And oh my god, this broke my heart, because like, this must be so wild for him to not know what he's forgetting. Or does he, like, how does it work? Does he like, I mean, obviously he in this moment realized he's forgotten an entire event, an entire day. But is it like a fish syndrome where it's just like out of sight, out of mind? Does he forget that he's forgotten? I mean, either way, it's not really going to matter by the end of the episode because he's going to forget it all. Again, another shout out to Kim because he's really out here doing the Lord's work, keeping all the tabs on Alan, who he follows when he sees him. You know, obviously, Alan goes to Tony's base to, I guess, like, see Dean. Because I was like, yo, you completely forget you were supposed to take Dean with you. But yeah, we see him go back to Tony's lab. And Tony again is like, you need to get me Charlie's blood, unless none of this matters. But yeah, Kim calls him out. He's like, I saw you drive to Tony's lab. I know you're working with him. And Alan's answer is like, yeah, I'm trying to save Kenta and I'm trying to save Dean. And I don't know if that would have been enough of an answer for me, because then why didn't you tell the rest of us? What is this late night shenanigans you're exploring on your own? But thankfully, Kim was able to see all these things that Alan is up to, because again, by the end of it, it will make sense. But at this point, we have Alan cornering Charlie, and Charlie's powers just go haywire. He sees flashes, he sees again I guess you could say for us, the past episode, but Alan, taking the treatment and becoming like a special human. And then we also see him, like, it looks like Tony's holding him captive. Essentially, we see little glimpses of the future and where all of this is going to end. I don't even think Charlie's visions can do even at the best could tell us where this all ends. But with this latest seizure, Alan takes Charlie to the lab. They're just like, we're just going to have to, see what's going on. Alan is shady looking as heck. He's like, oh, Jeff should stay with him. Oh, you don't need to stay with him. Like, he's not sure whether or not Babe will recall seeing him before he blacks out. And oh my gosh, when Charlie then regains consciousness just to not recognize Babe, effective. My heart like cracked a little bit. Like, that was such a sad scene and really well done between the both of them. But yeah, it's stressful, but I love how they brought it all back, because again, I don't like how some of these clips, like this storyline has sort of been on the internet and people have been showing clips of it, and gosh, I thought they were gonna like make Charlie not want to be around Babe, so on and so forth. So I like this little moment where they're both in the lab, and Charlie wakes up and he's like, I don't know you. I don't remember you. And Babe is like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I'll help you with that. I'll essentially, like, I'll help you remember what you don't remember. And Charlie's like, well, what if I don't remember anything? I mean, look, Babe is going to make you fall in love with him again. Like, that's not even a question. But it's very sad. It's very sweet at the end of it, because the love is still there. I feel like instinctually that's what we're supposed to believe. Like, this is still Babe and Charlie, even without the memories. So yes, a very super sweet, well done moment. Now let's check in with our troublemaker of the episode, Alan, because he goes to Tony and he's like, hey, I've brought you the blood you asked for. Let Dean and Kenta go. And Tony's like, oh, you're cute and dumb. You thought like just this little bit of blood was worth 2 human lives? You think you were just gonna give me 1 vial and that was gonna be business done? Like, oh, you sweet fool. And what does Tony do? He activates that chip in Alan's head. I guess the chip is now in his cane. I love that little detail. And Alan is unconscious. Now, if Kim hadn't been following Kenta this entire episode, no one would know where Homeboy is. Because obviously now I'm thinking like Tony's going to keep him. Like, you're not going free, my guy. Like, Tony owns you now. I don't see how, like, I mean, again, I guess step 1, kill Tony, fixes all problems. But at this point, you have now gained supernatural abilities that who knows whether or not you can control it long term, or if it has after effects like we've seen with Jeff. We don't know that, and now here's this Chip and basically gonna Tony's gonna make him do things against his friends. Like, bad decision, Alan. Bad decision. Kim knows. He's also alerted Pete. And if Pete knows, Chris knows. So a good portion of the cast is most likely going to be side-eyeing Alan by next week. So that's going to be interesting. But what is more interesting is in this final scene, Tony tells Alan, do whatever you have to get Babe to crawl back to me. Again, right back to this obsession that he has with Babe. Again, like, it feels like Babe was the only child, quote unquote, that he kept, that he like had pride in and he liked a little bit over the years. So Babe being able to stay free of him all these years has really, just really done one on him, because Babe has no powers now. He's not even saying get Charlie to crawl here. He's like, get Babe back here. Like, like, is his long-term plan, like, I make Babe come back here and I fire Win? Like, Win is so replaceable, and he's out here feeling so good about himself. Like, sir, he would drop you in a heartbeat. I just want you to know that. But yeah, that was episode 11. There's nothing much else to add other than what we've gone through. I enjoyed the episode. Tony just leveled up this week. I liked him just being pure masterful villainy. Anyway, I just like him being evil because Alan, Alan, what did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Anyway, guys, let me wrap it up there. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode. And last but not least, I just want to say thank you to everyone who continues to watch these videos. Leave a like and subscribe, especially Angela. I really appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. Hopefully other people will comment in the future. I would love to just talk with more of you watching the videos. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys again for listening, and I'll be back next week for episode 12. Bye.